nice job of sucking up, didn't he? I said, go out there, and when he introduced me, just barf forward all kinds of just inane compliments. And he did a really nice job. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks for inviting me to Sheboygan. Pub crawl after the tea party. Who's with me? All right, you've got an amazing keynote coming up here, people. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson is going to be wrapping this up for us. But I want to say a few words about who you are. Let's see. Let me channel my inner Maxine Waters. Terrorists. How about that? And she says you can go to hell. Wait a minute, let me channel my inner Joe Biden for a second. Terrorists! How about that? Weird, you guys look like the nicest, friendliest bunch of terrorists I've ever seen in my life. God bless you. That's what they think of us, guys. Why? Why are we being called terrorists? What was the other thing we were referred to just this week? Nazis. Yeah! The left only marginalizes us because that's all it's got left. Why would they seek to marginalize a bunch of patriotic Americans who want their country and their state back? Because you're making a difference, and a big difference. The Tea Party in America isn't a party, it's a movement. It's a movement of people who want their government back, they want their freedom back, and they believe liberty can be a model. Liberty as a model for the nation. Weird, our founding fathers thought liberty was a model. I don't think many people would want to call them terrorists. But that is why they marginalize us. It's all they've got left. They don't have ideas to fight. They don't have policy that works. They've got insults, epithets, vile, vulgar attacks on people like Rebecca Clayfish, on people like myself, on people like Senator Johnson, Glenn Grothman, on people like Governor Walker, who just did the hard stuff because he did the right thing. This fight's not going to be over. It's actually going to get a bit uglier, though we do have some successes to put on the list, don't we? Back in 2008, nobody thought this thing was going to amount to anything. Back when Rick Santelli ranted his rant around the world, and we all said, yeah, let's do a tea party. Great idea. Everybody thought it'll be a one-off. They'll do one rally, it'll be done. One turned into 2, turned into 1,000, turned into 10,000 rallies with hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of people turning out to say, I want my country back. And what did we do in November of 2010? Well, we sent Ron Johnson to the U.S. Senate. We sent Scott Walker to the governor's chair. We took over Congress, made inroads in the United States Senate, and I dare say now we are making inroads to take back the presidency in 2012. We the people, by the way, not we the party, not we the Republican Party, not we the Libertarian Party, we the people. The Tea Party is a movement of like-minded people, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't this weird? We all did this all by ourselves. Nobody got up and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to organize these little groups around the United States, and we're going to pay people to go out there and start knocking on doors and holding rallies and start talking about the Constitution. And yeah, that'll work. That isn't what we did. All you together had the same idea all at the same time. It's time to take our country back. It's time. It's long past time. The fight is not one that is going to be won on one election or 2 elections. It's got to be now telling people what makes this a special special enough to bring a couple of thousand people here in Sheboygan, Wisconsin out on a very warm Saturday afternoon on Labor Day weekend. I'll get to Labor Day in a second. On Labor Day, what makes it so special? We need to start letting people know why freedom works. It sounds easy to say. Fly a flag, wave a Gadsden flag, put on a button. Mine says socialism sucks. Why freedom works. Why it works as a model for society, as a model for policy, and as a model for life and government. Less government, more freedom. More freedom, less government. What do you prefer? Closer toward more government, less freedom we get. We get ever less freedom to the point where we get tyranny. Start to give the young people of this country and your neighbors who might not be too involved in politics a reason to start paying attention to what we have to say. What we are simply trying to do is free people from what right now is the 900-pound gorilla of the size of the federal and state government. We are now looking at $2.4 trillion more dollars to borrow from China. They're going to get to the point where they don't want to loan us any more money. We're $14.3 trillion in debt, and I didn't even include Social Security and Medicare. That's a 900-pound gorilla, or let's call it a 14.3 trillion pound gorilla on our shoulders, on our children's shoulders, and on the shoulders of young people who have not even become an idea in the minds of their parents who are probably only in kindergarten right now. This is about securing the survival of this country for people who are going to be here in it when we're long dead. That's the legacy we are going to leave for the country. That's the legacy we aim to leave here, beginning the process of reform in Wisconsin. Now let's talk about Wisconsin. I'm from Madison. I know you're sorry. Thanks for feeling bad for me. I am a bomb-throwing right-winger. I was called the queen of mean right-wing radio ranting, so you can all call me Queen Vicki. I like that. Queen for a day. Your Highness is okay as well. Madison, Wisconsin. What is going on in Madison, Wisconsin? It's still going on, by the way. The folks who understand that simple explanations of why liberty is a model is a very appealing thing for young folks and average Americans to hear, why the idea of having more of their own money, more of their own freedom for themselves, making more of their own decisions for themselves, it's a very appealing idea when you start talking about it, and the left knows that. And Scott Walker understood when he imparted the collective bargaining changes that it wasn't going to take very long before even public employee union members started to realize paying some guy money every month just so you could go to another guy, work for that guy and collect a paycheck didn't make a lot of sense. The idea that over time, and it wasn't going to take a lot of time, freeing people from having to pay the middleman to go get a job with the government paid for by the taxpayers didn't make a whole lot of sense. The left understood that. The one major change we had in Wisconsin wasn't that we were going to require public employees to pay a little bit more for their pension and health care. Big deal. It was that we were not going to force employees to have the middleman forcibly extract the payment for the middleman from their paycheck so they could go to the other guy, work 8 hours to collect the money. In a short sentence, what the left understood is that liberty as a model was going to start being a very appealing idea for union members. And what have we seen? Already public employees unions have failed to recertify. Already, people who are already getting their dues extracted have said, oh, now that it's my choice to give the middleman money? Nah, I don't think the middleman deserves a cut. What's the middleman done for me? Oh, that's right, the middleman actually got Scott Walker to pass the collective bargaining changes. Thanks, middleman. Way to go, middleman. The middleman is responsible for a $3.6 billion budget deficit in Wisconsin. Middleman, you suck. No doubt about it. And people are starting to realize that very simple reforms, although they're brave things to do as a government official, work. And they work fast. The idea of giving people more freedom, that's what Wisconsin Open for Business is all about. It's saying, hey, we're not going to hang an albatross of regulation and taxation around your neck. We're not going to force people to pay for inefficient government that gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. No. We're going to return the decision on what to do with your money to you. Freedom as a model. And it worked in Wisconsin. And they're not happy. Not at all, folks. They occupied the State House, did millions and millions of dollars, cost us millions and millions of dollars in additional costs, did $1 million in damage, just because we finally said, no, we're not going to keep paying the middleman to make our lives worse. We're not going to keep running jobs out of Wisconsin so that people like Mitch Daniels in Indiana can lay claim to job creation. We're going to do it here. The left recognizes, though, that these simple changes could render it irrelevant in reasonably short fashion. Once people get this taste of freedom, they like it, they don't want to go back, right? It's what this country's about. But I'm going to tell you something. They won't go down without fighting. So November wasn't it. Well, we learned that in Wisconsin. November 2010 wasn't the end of it. Wanted to let people have a good time and celebrate, but I also wanted, as I was thinking right after the election, oh, I hope they know. There's more coming. There's a lot more coming. So it wasn't the end of it. The occupation of the Capitol and the dissipation of the thousands upon thousands of pot-smoking, patchouli-stinking, wheatgrass-swilling hippies, they're gone now? But essentially, guys, even that wasn't us being able to rest. Because what did they do to us after that? We had to fight for our Supreme Court. And we won. But we still couldn't rest. They made us recount the Supreme Court race. And we won again. But we still couldn't rest. They made us fight for our senators in recall elections. And we won again. But we still can't rest. And damn it, it's football season now, and they're still going to make us fight for this. But you know what? I hope people now recognize that not only is it important to fight for liberty, to fight for freedom, and that taking any of what this great country has given us for granted, we've learned the mistakes of taking America for granted. I hope you also recognize now, though, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to get together with a bunch of like-minded patriots on a Saturday afternoon and say, God bless Wisconsin and God bless America. It's kind of fun. Hey, they hate my guts, and I don't care. I live in Madison, but it's someone's got to be in the occupied territories. Consider me your eyes and ears, okay? Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for everything you've done. Everything you've done. You're a miracle, folks.